welcome back. If you guys have bought chapstick for $3, just remember to keep it in your pocket because it doesn't do any good when you're at break and it's down in your car. Sheri Putzke joins us, and, there is a risk in buying houses. And, I'm kind of the thought that buying a new house carries a little bit less risk because, well, typically you know what you're getting. There's probably not a lot of hidden issues. And so, Sheri, you have a lot of designations really serving a wide variety of clients, but today really just talking about that new construction and what's going on out there. Well,
right.
Welcome. How are you?
Thank you. I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Do you have any chapstick?
I don't have any. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, if anybody does, I could use it. So, Sheri, talk a little bit about, new construction. People can go buy it. They know what they're getting.
Right.
Sometimes, if there's something that goes wrong soon, the builder would typically take care of it. Probably a little bit less risk there, right?
Correct. A lot of that is the warranty piece. Most new construction homes come with a warranty. Resale has warranties on occasion as well, usually a 1-year warranty, but many new construction homes come with a 6 or what they call a 210 warranty. So you are fairly comprehensive the first 2 years and would be a structural warranty thereafter. Sometimes that's a transferable warranty, so that's another selling point. If a buyer were looking for a shorter term investment, that would be a point of resale. They would be able to pass that along to the next buyer. So
is there a lot of new construction out there right now?
There is not a lot of new construction. Inventory is drying up quickly.
And so if people want new houses, is it similar to the resale market? There's just not a lot of them out there? What?
That's correct. However, there are new construction communities, but the builders are having a hard time keeping up with demand. And so there's lots of opportunities in new construction. And again, it's going to depend upon the timing needs of the buyer. So in terms of the move-in ready homes, we're seeing less and less of those. However, if a buyer has a more flexible time frame, oftentimes we can do a pre-sale purchase. That can be 5 to 6 months out, and that's going to give the buyer a lot more flexibility in terms of the floor plan, sometimes the location, depending upon the number of lots remaining in the community, and potentially the ability to customize their home as well.
Do you see, and this with future projects and what builders are doing, and I see in Kirkland, and I know you work east side, it seems like a lot of people they're building houses. These are like glorified condos. They are just stacked on top of each other. Is that a continuing trend in the projects that are coming out? Or are people building, are they just stacking them in?
On the east side, that is more common just because the land is more of a premium. So you're going to find bigger lots the farther out you go. But yeah, the newer construction homes, as a general rule, do have smaller lots than you would find typically in resale homes.
And is that just because, there's not, land isn't going anywhere, right? You got water. You have mountains. People want to live in the city. Is that just because the demand is exceeding, I suppose, the amount of land that used to be available, the lot size that used to be available on the east side?
That's correct. And again, that's why you don't see ramblers or one-story homes. People sometimes come in looking for those, and it's very rare. Again, it's cheaper to build up than it is to build out for the land. Yeah,
if you go down to Arizona and everything is a rambler. It's incredible. And they're gorgeous.
Or a ranch, they call them. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of these aren't ranches. These are just houses. Anyways, that's in Arizona. We're not down there, so we're not going to worry too much about that. What kind of buyers are you working with right now, kind of who are looking at new construction? Is there a specific type of buyer that's out there?
Yes and no. There's a couple first-time home buyers who are making up a large part of the market right now, and they're just in a great position to purchase a home. They don't have anything to sell. Obviously, anybody that's purchased a home in the past several years might have a little bit of trouble getting out of their home depending upon the amount of money that they've put into it. So first-time buyers, like I said, are making up a big part of the market right now. Relocation buyers are also a large part of the market. We have really strong employers in our area. And again, I work generally the east side. So Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Boeing are all hiring. And those folks are coming here with their families and they're looking to buy a home.
And that's got to be a help. I would think. New construction, they just kind of know what they're getting.
Right. That's correct. And sometimes it's a national builder, so they might have name recognition. And they just, they're looking for something new.
What about people who are coming out of old houses or houses they've lived in? How does that transition typically work? Is it just people who, hey, I want something new now?
Oftentimes it's a life change. So either somebody has gotten married, their family is growing, they're having children, or they're new empty nesters and are looking for something smaller. So because of what pricing has done and where interest rates are, people are seeing opportunity with purchasing homes. It's a great investment.
It would seem also, we've talked on this show about people have now that it appears the market's picking up a little bit, it's not quite as big of a deal, I guess. But we've seen where people just hold out for that perfect house. They want, they wanted, especially first homers, want everything to be perfect. This would seem like an alternative to trying to always find that perfect house with the blemishes or whatnot, because you kind of get a little bit of design. You kind of get to do some of those things and fix it or make it build it the way you want it.
That's true. And I always, when I meet with buyers, we talk about that because honestly, there rarely is the perfect house. You're usually giving something up, and it's an important process to prioritize your needs and your wants in your home purchase. But even building new construction, there's always something that you could or would have done differently. So you're right.
There's always, hindsight's 20/20. Always a would have, could have, but it's a dangerous place to live. It is in the would have, could have land. What are some of the other big benefits of buying these new homes?
There's a few. So the opportunity to customize is really one of the biggest benefits, and that's going to vary quite a bit from builder to builder. Some builders do quite a bit more customization than others, and for some builders, it's going to matter when you enter into the process. So, are you purchasing a home as a pre-sale, as in just picking a lot, picking a plan, and building it from the ground up? Are you purchasing a home that's under construction? Sometimes you might be able to make some changes, whether that's flooring selection, cabinets, tile, whatever the case may be.
Faucets.
Yeah, exactly.
Sinks.
Mm-hmm. And then again, if you're looking for something that's move-in ready, that's going to be pretty much as it is. And again, some builders will do some retro, but for the most part, you're buying the completed product.
And I guess the earlier you buy in the process, the more customizable it is.
Yes, and the most cost-effective opportunity to do any customization.
What about as far as, I know in the past, builders used to give these huge concessions. They'd pay huge amounts in closing costs. They'd do these, pretty big deals in order to make their houses appear that they were selling for much more, but really the net to the buyer was less. Is that still happening?
To some degree, although that has shifted quite dramatically quite recently. So obviously to the builder, it's a net number, but they're trying to reflect a higher sales price. So they would be more inclined to give you the concessions that you're referring to, whether that is closing costs or upgrades that are rolled into the price of the home.
So really, it's interesting because you can see what these houses sold for, but there's probably a lot more negotiation that goes on that you can't just see by looking at Zillow to see what a house sold for.
That's absolutely right, because that's just a number that the house sold for. It does not reflect the concessions, and again, whether those concessions are upgrades or whether they're closing costs to the buyers.
And if they're upgrades, really, you're getting a nicer house. And I guess with a nicer house and a new house, it's really it's new. That's got to be one of the big benefits.
It's new. That's exactly it. There's no scratch floors. There's no dirty showers. There's no deferred maintenance, and there's no used appliances. It's new.
Well, that new is good. I like new cars. I like new houses. I don't know. What else is new you can go buy? I need some new chapstick. Sheri, thanks so much for joining us at Sheri Putzke, Windermere Real Estate, helping people with their new construction. When we come back, we started this show talking about risk. There are people out there who risk their lives, and they are the soldiers who protect this country every day. When they come back, oftentimes they need a place to live. They're